Let's jump right into this. Quick question for you. When was the last time you actually looked at your own website? And I don't mean just a quick glance to check a new blog post. I mean really looking at it through the eyes of a high-value prospective client. In today's era of rapid digital transformation, your website isn't just a digital brochure, it's your front line. It's often the very first and sometimes the absolute only impression you get to make.
So, welcome to today's Explainer. We're unpacking some brilliant analysis from the technology experts over at Softwin titled Why Outdated Websites Lose Clients and How to Fix It. We're going to look at this entirely through the lens of modern business growth. We'll uncover those hidden revenue leaks in your infrastructure and see how modernizing your digital presence can help your company scale faster and operate with seamless efficiency.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, the silent client killer. Second, the high cost of outdated. Third, signs you need a redesign. Fourth, 3 paths to fixing it. And finally, avoiding costly redesign mistakes. Let's get into it. Section 1, the silent client killer, or the invisible problem that's quietly costing you business.
Here's the truly insidious nature of this problem. Here's the thing nobody tells you about outdated websites. They don't fail with a bang. A visitor just leaves, quietly. Think about that for a second. There are no server crash alerts, you don't get angry support emails. People just exit your ecosystem and quietly navigate right over to a competitor who offers a more modern, frictionless experience.
So, what exactly makes a platform outdated? Well, it usually comes down to a systemic failure across 5 specific pillars. First off, the design completely misses modern professional expectations. Second, the performance is sluggish. Third, mobile is treated as an afterthought instead of the priority. Fourth, you're dragging around heavy tech debt, meaning you're running on old, unsupported frameworks. And fifth, the user journey is just confusing. Add those up, and they broadcast a loud message that your business just hasn't kept up with innovation.
Moving to Section 2, the high cost of outdated. This is where we transition from visual luxury into measurable financial loss. 0.05 seconds. That's it. That is the incredibly short window you have before a visitor makes a snap judgment about you. Literally, the time it takes to blink, and a prospective client has already formed a rock-solid opinion about your credibility, your technological capabilities, and your entire brand. And here is where it gets absolutely fascinating. 94% of that first impression, it's based strictly on design, not your actual content. I mean, you could have the most innovative, AI-powered solutions on the planet, but if your interface doesn't immediately project a premium, trustworthy look, 94% of that snap judgment is working right against you. Visitors are deciding if you're credible purely based on the visual, digital experience. Now, let's talk about mobile for a second. An astounding 73% of visitors will just instantly abandon a site if it isn't optimized for their device. A seamless, modern digital experience across all platforms? That's not a nice-to-have anymore, it's the absolute baseline. If your technology isn't delivering perfect clarity straight to a smartphone, you are literally turning away the vast majority of your traffic. And then there's the crucial metric of speed. There is a massive compounding financial penalty for having a slow digital infrastructure. Every single extra second your site takes to load costs you roughly 7% of your conversions. 2 seconds late, you're down 14%. 3 seconds, you've just lost 21% of your conversions. In a world where business leaders expect instantaneous automation and seamless data flows, a slow interface is just directly sabotaging your ability to scale. All right, Section 3, signs you need a redesign. Let's run through a quick mental checklist. I want you to mentally check these warning signs against your own company's digital presence. Are your bounce rates inexplicably creeping up? Is your site supposedly mobile-friendly on paper, but it actually feels clunky in reality? Does it take more than 2 seconds to load? Do you ever hesitate, even for a second, before sending a prospect your URL? Maybe your brand has evolved, but the site is stuck in the past. Or maybe you have to submit a ticket to a developer just to make a tiny text change. If you're nodding at 3 or more of these right now, you are absolutely dealing with hidden leaks in your growth engine. Section 4. 3 paths to fixing it. This is Softwin's strategic approach. What makes Softwin's methodology so effective as a technology partner is that they don't just blindly tell everyone to tear everything down. They start with a hard data audit to recommend one of 3 distinct paths. Path 1 is a refresh. You modernize the visuals and the speed, and that takes just a few weeks. Path 2 is a rebuild, a 2 to 4 month project to eliminate tech debt and ensure serious scalability. And Path 3 is a reposition, focusing on optimizing your messaging and conversion paths.
Real digital transformation should always be driven by measurable business impacts, like better security and higher lead quality, not just making things look pretty.
Which brings us to Section 5, avoiding costly redesign mistakes, myth versus reality.
One of the biggest traps companies fall into is designing based on internal opinions. Letting executives argue over abstract preferences or button colors. The reality is, true innovation relies on real user data. You have to analyze the actual load times, the mobile behavior, where people are dropping off. If you're not solving for actual user behavior, well, you're just guessing.
Another completely fatal flaw is clinging to a desktop-first design mindset. The modern market demands a mobile-first ecosystem, period. Treating the mobile interface as some kind of scaled-down afterthought is a surefire way to totally fracture your user's digital experience.
And let's quickly hit a few other common pitfalls, like redesigning purely for looks while totally ignoring speed and SEO, or copying a competitor exactly instead of solving for your own unique audience. Another big one is treating a redesign as a one-time massive event rather than a continuous evolution. And finally, launching without clear metrics. A smart digital transformation has to actively improve your operational efficiency. So you're probably wondering, how often should this all happen? Well, you can ditch the set it and forget it for a decade mindset right now. Your new strategy should be a meaningful review every 2 to 3 years, supported by smaller, ongoing data-driven updates in between. Digital transformation is a continuous journey, not a final destination.
I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative thought. Is your website making decisions for your clients before you even get a say? Just think about it. It's entirely possible your digital presence is right now forming bad first impressions on high-value clients you'll never even hear from, simply because they left before reaching out. But hey, the good news is, this is incredibly fixable once you acknowledge the problem. If you're ready to stop that silent leak, SoftOne offers a free, completely no-pressure audit to uncover exactly where your site might be losing business. It's time to step up and take control of your digital growth. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.